Welcome to the beautiful Hawaiian island of Maui, where the natural landscapes are going to make you say, wowie. Okay, I had to get one cheesy line in. It might as well be right at the top. I have just spotted a humpback whale off the coast here. It is incredible being here this time of year. January to March is actually whale migration time. Thousands of them come to the Hawaiian Islands to breed, to have their offspring. And everywhere I look, I see whale spouts, whale tails, and just whales everywhere. It is absolutely amazing. And welcome, everyone, to the Hawaiian island of Maui. I've popped over here for a very short trip. I was over on the Big Island just yesterday and checking out Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. And now I'm here in Maui to check out Haleakala National Park, which is the second national park here in Hawaii, a little bit smaller in size than the one on the Big Island, but got a lot of really great stuff: jungle, rainforest, waterfalls, and a really high dormant volcano that we're going to check out as well. So I've only got about 30 hours here on this Hawaiian island, so let's not waste any time. This national park is split up into two sections, and I was heading first to a section called Kalihulu for a hike in the jungle. To get there, I was going to have to drive along a very long and winding road called the Pilani Highway. If you've heard of the road to Hana, this is actually the back way to get there. But calling this a highway is a bit misleading. It's a remote 1.5 lane, mostly paved country road hugging the coastline. Several miles are just one lane. They have massive blind curves and no room for cars to pass. This part of the park is really remote, and there's just a few trails here that take you along the coastline. The one that I'm on right now takes us to two waterfalls and also into a bamboo forest. First one, a fantastic overlook down into Waimoku Falls, which translates in Hawaiian to water that has no friends. And that's because this is a very fast-flowing waterfall and it has flash floods very often. So historically, this is a place where there was a lot of danger, and there still is today. So there's actually no swimming allowed in this part of the national park because so many people have drowned and been swept away by the dangerous water here over the years. One of the features along this trail is this amazing old banyan tree. I'm not sure how old it is, but it looks to be at least well over 100 or a couple hundred years old. Now, there are banyan trees in parts of America that are actually several thousand years old, and this one is just really, really beautiful. It's unfortunate that people have carved so many things into this poor tree. I'm sure it will be here for many, many years to come. Once you cross over the bridge, you are in the bamboo forest here. Bamboo is the fastest growing wood on the planet. It's super sustainable because it is so fast growing. It also holds an incredibly large amount of water. And back when the Hawaiian Islands were being populated by the Polynesians, bamboo was actually one of the first things they brought with them. So bamboo is actually not native to these islands, but once it was here, it spread rapidly and is now really emblematic of the Hawaiian Islands. There are bamboo forests on almost every island, and they're one of the top things tourists like to come and see. Walking through this bamboo forest actually really reminds me of my dad. He's no longer with us, unfortunately, but one of our family vacations that we took, and we didn't have many when I was an adult, was to Oahu, where I was actually running my first marathon. This was back probably in 2005, so a very long time ago now. But we walked through the bamboo forest that's on the island of Oahu, and I still remember it vividly, and remember the family photos that we took in that bamboo forest. So this one definitely brings back some happy memories of long ago, when both my parents were still alive and we could make those kind of memories. So if your parents are still alive and you haven't been on a trip with them in a while, remember that they might not be around forever, and should take the time that you have to spend together as much as you can. We are just approaching the waterfall at the end of this trail. So if you do the trail in total, it is 2 miles each way, so 4 miles round trip. And that bamboo forest is just really massive, much bigger than I expected. This waterfall is called Waimoku Falls, I think that's how you pronounce it, and it translates loosely to water that cuts, severs, amputates, or breaks in two, as a stream often does after heavy rains. This waterfall is several hundred feet tall, and it is just absolutely beautiful. All right, that was a really quick stop at the waterfall. You cannot get that close. Many people are, but it's actually against park rules. I'm not going to condone anyone breaking the rules on this channel. This is why some trails end up having to close, is because people do break the rules. So it is a beautiful waterfall. Check it out from afar. I am going to now hike back to the car. And just so you know, if you are coming to do this trail, it is relatively flat. There's a little bit of an incline, but it's pretty doable if you're able to walk. So I would say that it's a moderate trail. This might be a short trip, but it wouldn't be a trip to Hawaii without getting out on the ocean. And right now it's actually whale migration season. So between January and March, thousands of humpback whales come here to these waters to not only mate, but to have offspring as well. So it's a fantastic time to get out on the ocean. And I'm heading out on a whale watch this morning. I've done these in places all over the world, but never here in Hawaii. So I made a little bit of time this morning to do just that. So I'm heading out on a 2-hour whale watch, and I'm actually starting in the town of Lahaina. Now, Lahaina, if you don't remember, burned basically to the ground in August of 2023. 101 people actually lost their lives in that fire, and most of the downtown was completely incinerated. So it's also good to know that things are reopening here. Companies have come back. Tourism is coming back, so if you do want to come on a whale watch, you can do it here in Lahaina. I will drop details of the company that I went out with today as well, but for now, let's get on the boat and let's get out and see if we can find any whales. Okay, we've seen a bunch of whales breach now up ahead of the boat, so we're just trying to get a little closer. Okay, we are on our way now back on this crazy road, but wow, the views are amazing and the road is narrow. Over to the other part of Haleakala, which is the more visited section because it is closer to the airport where you enter Maui. And this part of Haleakala is up on the crater of the Haleakala volcano. And it's a dormant volcano, so you don't have to worry about it erupting anytime soon. It's actually right now in this phase, which is the erosional phase of volcanoes. Volcanoes have many different phases as they grow. And an interesting thing about volcanoes here in Hawaii is that the entire Hawaiian Islands chain was built from volcanoes. This is not a place that was made from tectonic plates converging. It's actually an area in which volcanoes just kind of grew out of the ocean floor, and all the volcanoes here are shield volcanoes, which is pretty interesting. And even though they're all the same type of volcano, they all have a lot of different minerals that come out of them. So there's a lot of really interesting things that you can learn about volcanoes if you're into that kind of thing. But we've got a couple hour drive to get through around this coastline and back up onto the volcano. We'll be going up several thousand feet because this is going to be the tallest point here in Maui as well. All right, I've just entered the Haleakala crater and we are driving up to the summit. It's 5 p.m. The sunset today is at around 6:40. That's when it will be completely dark, so sunset should start pretty soon. And there's just these big banks of fog and clouds that keep kind of coming through here and blowing through. So hopefully we'll be able to see the sunset. Now, sunrise is actually the most popular time to come up here. And if you do want to do that, you will need a reservation, which basically is between the hours of 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. That entire period, you'll need a reservation if you do want to come up here for that time. And those are a little bit hard to get, so make sure you plan ahead if you do want to do sunrise up here. But sunset is also a really great time to come up and check out the crater. And there's also a lot of hiking up here as well, which we won't have time to do, but I am really excited to see the sunset from up here. The nickname for Haleakala is actually House of the Sun. And I think when we get up to the top, you'll be able to see why. I found a spot to park here at the Higher Up Visitor Center, and wow, this is absolutely beautiful. You know, everyone I've ever talked to that has come to Maui and come to this park has said that sitting up here watching the sun setting or the sun rising has been one of the most amazing experiences of their life, and it is really, really, really awe-inspiring to be up here, because you're above the clouds. And driving up, I thought we would actually not have a view because of all that fog and all those clouds that were rolling in. But up here, you're just 1,000 feet higher than that, and it's just remarkable. Absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna walk around. I'm gonna try to get you as many views from up here as I can. I could not park at the top, but there's a bunch of hiking trails up here. There's also trails that go down into the crater itself, so lots of places to explore. If this isn't the best way to end a day here in Maui, I don't know what is. It is just absolutely spectacular up here. The sun is just going down beyond the clouds behind the camera, and behind me there has been these beautiful pinks and purples. It's just fantastic and a great way to end this really short trip here to Maui. Now, if you do want to come and explore this national park, Haleakala, it is possible to do it in a day. However, I would definitely recommend that you have a few to explore it, and I hope you'd enjoyed just our really quick trip through this national park. especially if you want to come to the summit area. There is so much more to see. There are tons of hiking trails. There are 2 backcountry cabins you can also hike into and stay at. No tent needed. And there's a lot of other offerings too. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. As always, I'm Alice Ford. Never stop exploring. Oh, and don't forget, if you want to stay up to date with all the things that I have going on, make sure you sign up for my newsletter, which is linked down below. And I've also got a playlist with all my national park content too.